Here's something that might surprise you. Science shows that what you've heard about male sexuality and health is probably based more on myths than facts. Today, we're exploring a topic that affects billions, but rarely gets discussed honestly.
That's really interesting timing because I was just reading about how this topic has been studied extensively at major research institutions, yet there's still so much misinformation out there.
Well, let's start with that groundbreaking Harvard study from 2016. They found that men who ejaculated around 21 times per month had a significantly lower risk of prostate cancer. That's some pretty concrete data challenging a lot of traditional beliefs.
So what you're saying is we're looking at roughly every other day as potentially beneficial for prostate health? That's quite different from what most people assume.
Exactly, and here's where it gets fascinating. It's not just about frequency. The whole picture involves brain chemistry, particularly dopamine regulation. Think of it like a carefully balanced system.
Could you break down how that dopamine connection actually works? Because I think that's something most people don't understand.
Well, it's similar to how we get pleasure from eating good food or achieving a goal. Your brain releases this cocktail of chemicals, with dopamine being the star player. But here's the catch. Too much can lead to diminishing returns, affecting motivation and energy levels.
That's making me think about how different people might have varying optimal frequencies, like how some people can handle 3 cups of coffee while others get jittery from 1.
You know what's really interesting? The role of lifestyle factors in all this. Someone who's physically active and maintains a healthy diet might have a completely different optimal frequency than someone who's more sedentary.
Well, that's bringing up an important point about how overall health connects to this topic.
Right. And here's something most people don't realize. Stress levels play a huge role in this equation. When we're stressed, our bodies produce cortisol, which can interfere with normal hormonal function and recovery time.
That's really highlighting how modern life, with all its stressors, might be affecting natural patterns and rhythms.
Let's talk about sleep quality too, because it's crucial. Poor sleep affects hormone levels, energy, and recovery time. It's all interconnected in ways that most people don't consider.
So what you're telling me is that there's no universal right number for everyone?
Exactly right. And here's another myth we should address. The idea that frequency affects athletic performance. Studies have shown that normal frequencies don't significantly impact athletic performance at all. Some athletes even report feeling more focused afterward.
That's really challenging some long-held beliefs about abstinence and athletic performance.
And here's something else that might surprise people. The relationship between frequency and mental health. Regular ejaculation can help reduce stress and anxiety. But again, it's about finding that personal sweet spot.
Well, that's making me wonder about the psychological aspects versus the physical ones.
The mind-body connection here is incredibly strong. For example, feelings of guilt or anxiety about frequency can actually create physical symptoms that wouldn't otherwise exist. It's a perfect example of how our thoughts manifest physically.
That's really emphasizing the importance of having these kinds of open, honest discussions about what's normal and healthy.
So here's what it comes down to. If you're maintaining good energy levels, sleeping well, feeling motivated, and not experiencing any physical discomfort, you're probably in a healthy range. The problems start when it begins interfering with daily life or relationships.
Well, that's making it sound more about quality of life indicators than any specific number.
And that's really the key takeaway here. Listen to your body, ignore the myths, and don't be afraid to talk to healthcare professionals if you have concerns. Because at the end of the day, this is just another aspect of health that deserves honest, open discussion.
That's bringing home the importance of paying attention to your own body rather than following general advice.
You know what's really encouraging? How much the conversation around this topic has evolved. We're finally moving past shame and superstition toward actual science-based understanding.